Okay, so now let's give styling when we hover the button. So let's just take that class, and when we hover, so there will be a different kind of color, and the color will change, and the text color will also change. So for that, we will just select the app submit class, and then we will put a colon, and that is hover. So this is how we give styling over like hovering. So now we'll give some different things, and things will be like pretty much the same till here. Like this kind of this thing I can copy and I can just paste here, because on hovering only majorly the color will change, nothing else will be changing. Like, or if I can, what can I do, just copy this, paste it here, and just invert the colors, right? So background color will be white, and border will be green itself. Border radius will be same, and color will be green. Color will be green, and cursor is pointer. Okay, so now let's save and go to the browser, and you can see when I bring my cursor here, that means when I hover, so the color changes. So that looks pretty good. Now let's go back. And okay, enough of CSS. I know that some of the things are left. This drop down is left, but we'll do it later. First of all, let us go and jump to the main part, where we'll do this the URL and the API thing and all. So let's go and do that first. So let me just first of all go to the website, that is the Adamam, and from here we'll get our endpoint, our API endpoint. So that is really important. So we'll be getting that. So how you'll get that, I'll teach you. First of all, go to the documentation. I assume that you have created an account and you have created your ID, like the application ID and the application key, because that is very important. So you can go over to the documentation and then to the recipe search API, and then you need to go a little bit down. First of all, change this to like older version, and then you can go down. There you'll get an URL. Okay, this is the URL. Maybe this is the endpoint, and then you can just go ahead and paste it. So we'll say const URL is equal to this. So yeah, that's it. This curl and all, just remove this curl. Okay, now it's better. And we'll also copy our API key and API, like your app ID and the app key. So we'll make a constant here, naming this your API key. First we need this, right? No, first we need the API ID. So we'll copy this and we'll make up a, let me go to the website and grab my API keys and API ID to maybe, yeah, get API key now. Okay, so I have this one, the test one. I named it test. Yeah, so ID and view. So from here I'll copy the application ID and I'll paste it here. And then I'll create another constant, which will be const and then this your app key. You can just copy it, because after all that will be used there. So now I did this. So I just created another constant and it named it your API key. This the same thing here. The screen was not visible, I admit it. That's why I'm repeating it again. So const, this is another constant and this is the name of the constant which I copied from here, your app ID, because that will be used here. And now here we'll be storing that application ID. So let me just go back to the website, and this is the application key. I'll copy it and I'll go back to the browser. Sometimes what happens, no, the window doesn't change, like I'm coding somewhere but the window is stuck somewhere. So that time, like some like thing happen and I get to know it, but whenever I get to know it I repeat everything. Don't worry about it. Okay, so now this is our app ID, this is our application key. Now we need to look at the URL, the endpoint. So from here we'll remove this calorie stuff, because we don't make things complicated. We need to keep it as simple as it is. So after the application key, we will remove this, and we'll remove from here to health. From there health will be started. Yeah, this and this is basically the thing which is the drop down, right? Like dairy free and egg free and something like that, immuno friendly, immuno booster, I don't know what is. So this will also be varying once we come to the drop down thing, but for now it's okay. Okay, now let us check if our endpoint is working or not. So let us create a function. So this function will be triggered when we click maybe the h1. On click we'll add it, but first of all let us create a function. So we've created a URL. Now let's create a function. So that will be const and get recipe info. I will name is this. It's an async function, so I hope you know what is async function, and if you don't know, tell you. Async function returns a promise, and it basically returns a promise, and whatever the data, whatever task it is given, so it returns like the task is completed or not completed. So if it's completed, it returns a proper like promise. If it doesn't, so it returns an error. So result is equal to await. So this is an await. This function is await. So now we'll import Axios, because here we'll use Axios. Let me just write first the code. Axios, not this, dot get, and then we'll get the URL. All right, yeah, we'll get the URL, and then we'll create a state here, so which will be storing the data. It will be const and is a use state basically. So it's recipe recipes, then it will be set recipes. Make a lot of spelling mistakes. So okay, now you'll be giving a use state, and this will be storing the initial value. So it's an array, basically an empty array. Okay, so now we'll import what? We'll import use state and state from React, and then we'll import Axios from Axios, right? Okay, next we'll come back to the function. Now we'll set the recipes from this set recipes. We'll set the recipes, and it will be passing the data. So result dot data dot hits, and Next we'll be logging it to the console dot now console dot log, and basically result dot data dot hits. We can even save it somewhere like this entire value in a variable, but as of now we're just using it as it is. Okay, so this is it, and now we'll add this like function to somewhere we can click. So maybe this h1. So here on click we can add, and we'll get this function. So get recipe info. Yeah, so now let me save it. Hope there's no error. Compiling takes a lot of time. Your API, yeah, no use actually. And how can you it? Okay, here it is. Oh, variable. Okay. Okay, here it will be backticks, because inside we are giving this okay, here it will be backticks. Now if I save it, I think now it should work. The recipe is assigned a value but never used. We are using it actually. We are using it here because we'll be using it to console log the data. So let us just go back and go to the browser and see how the things are going on there. So now let me just open the developer tools. From here we'll be doing, of course we are getting an array. Okay, I clicked it and I got an array. See, there is an object. Okay, we got the, yes, chicken paprikash. We got the recipe, baked chicken. Okay, now you might be thinking why recipes are coming related to chicken, because when I go back to the code and I'll show you here, it's chicken, you know, this so this will be changed. This will be changed by the value which you search, so no need to worry about it. Okay, now we'll add the custom search feature. Right now we checked the API, it's working, the endpoint is working. Now we'll add the custom search API where you can just search on your own and get the results back. So let's do it.